This will be our warm start and mixed drive video of our 1973 Alfa Romeo Spider 2000. One owner since 1975. So we are at 82,221 on the mileage. We had her running for a while after our last video, and you can see that the water temp, which is a mechanical gauge, is sitting at about 150 and change degrees. So we will go ahead and warm start her, take her for a mixed drive. There is your fuel pressure light. There is your generator light. It's really all she gets. And that is it. No gas. Lights are all off. No generator. So have the passenger window partway down, have the driver's window all the way down. Let's go ahead and take that up a bit so we don't get too much wind noise. So that's about 2/3 of the way up. We are already buckled. So let us go ahead and demonstrate this beauty's ease of use. As I mentioned in the last video, our current caretaker has not really put much mileage on the car in the last 10 years. Realistically, probably not in the last 15 years, but suffice to say, she could use some exercise. We will give her some. You see the auto cancel works. So we are doing some around the neighborhood driving. And we will get her up into some higher revs, higher speeds. Start her in second. See how well sorted she is. She just pulls right off. Plenty of torque out of that 2-liter. Sun is our back, so we'll try to keep it that way. goes up just a tick. I can tell we are going to have some all onboard sound. There's nothing external, there's nothing artificial. So everything that folks are hearing is about as natural as it gets. So it does have the full factory exhaust system on it. So there's no performance parts. It's on the quiet side, but these were never really that loud out of the box. So there are several different systems or tail sections, modifications that could be made. There's what's called a stinger tail section, which basically just eliminates that rear muffler if you want just a little bit more sound. And then you can kind of go performance from there. Go ahead and lean into the turn again, try to get some speed going. We got some really bad roads ahead of us, just want folks to know. Big bump here. Big bumps coming up. Big set of train tracks coming up. Going into fifth. Reason I'm pointing out all the choppy road, railroad tracks, etc., is to address how sound and solid that suspension is. Basic Motorsports had mentioned to possibly look into doing some suspension bushings, and although the next caretaker could probably do that, you could also just enjoy your as-is for a few years until you were so inclined to sort. But you saw the worst that Chicago roads had to offer. She's doing just fine. So I'm gonna go from 5 to 3, and then we're gonna give it the beans, as they say, and we'll really get it up to speed. Watch the revs. Here's 4. Here's 5 again. So we are pushing 80. And go ahead and dial back a little on the throttle so as to stay out of jail, as we are in a 45, as you can see. So no trouble keeping up with traffic. Traffic might have a little trouble keeping up with us, but as you can see, she's raring to go. So we're gonna come off the highway here. Get into these S's. Gonna go again from 5 to 3. Folks gotta give me points for the one-handed performance driving, but basically she is happy as could be. As you can see, water temps barely over 140 with all that cooking that we've been doing. So she is raring to go. So does need a little sorting. Discussed the engine and trans weeps that she has, but they are pretty typical for any car that's been driven 1,200 miles a year for 50 years. In all honesty, as I mentioned before, that has greatly been dialed back the last 10 years or so. So she is happy as could be, See, we are just a tick under 50. You see the wheel is dead straight on. Suspension is tight. The alignment is good. And she's really not needing any effort at all. You can see I'm just guiding her with 3 fingers as we cruise down the road here. So I hope that has given folks a pretty good idea of what this car is all about. I'm showing you the ins and outs. Really just looking for a good home at this point. Somebody to care for as our current caretaker has for 50 years. So just needs a little TLC, but you can enjoy her in the meantime. A really solid example. Hope you've enjoyed the presentation.